All right, it is the walk to Santiago for the second time. I left Negreira this morning just a little before 7. I've only been walking about a half an hour, but again, it's a really quiet, peaceful morning. This is probably my favorite thing about walking backwards, is that despite there being a huge group at the albergue, there was this Portuguese group, a bunch of younger kids, like teenagers. They were all in the kitchen, same time as me, having breakfast. I didn't feel at all like I have to try to get out ahead of them, or maybe they can get out first so I can, put some space between me and this big group. I knew I was going a different way, and so it's just really nice. I think, again, like the first hour of this walk is going to be pretty quiet, and then I'll pass all the people probably heading towards Santiago, and then I think the end of the walk will be fairly quiet. What can I say? Let's see. Okay, I actually have to stop figure out where I'm going. I think I'm going straight. Or maybe I'm turning. Okay, I'll be back with more of an update. Okay, I'm back. Figured it out. So I was just thinking as I've been walking that I am entering Santiago at one of the busiest times of the year. Today is July 31st, and I was on the Camino forum just a little bit last night, and someone had posted that there are over 3,000 pilgrims entered the city yesterday. Or maybe the day before, over 3,000. And those are just pilgrims who got their compostelas and kind of like registered the completion of their walk. So, it's going to be so crowded. And, my next part, my final part of my pilgrimage and my Camino, I decided to go down to Vigo and finish up the Camino Portuguese. So kind of finish what I wasn't able to complete back in April. And in so many ways, this is a good idea. It's going to be easy to get to Vigo from Santiago. The timing is perfect. I love the idea of like a completion. But it just kind of dawned on me yesterday that I am doing the last essentially 100 kilometers of the second most popular Camino route at the most crazy time of the year. So we're going to see how I feel about it. I was just, this morning talking about how much I love the peace and the solitude of the walking, and I don't think I'm going to get that. I also, last night, I was like thinking, maybe I should think about booking a few places. And there might be a town in one stage where it looks like on booking.com anyway, everything's booked up, and there are a lot of albergues in this town. So I'm going to have to send WhatsApp messages and make some calls to see if I can find places to stay. I'm going to try not to worry, especially on this part. I can always just take a bus or a taxi if I can't find a place to stay. I would rather not. I'd rather just walk, but we'll see. Anyway, I do think after the quiet of this morning, I'm going to be in for some crowds over the next few days. Not a boar in the corn, but a black kitty cat in the corn. Also rather creepy. I didn't realize that this little town has one of the most beautiful villages in Spain. I mean, it is really pretty. All right, let's go look. Started going down this really kind of long, at times steep section. When you're walking to Finisterre, this is quite the climb. And first you get to go down. And I do think the second half of my walk is going to involve some more ups, but overall I think it's an easier stage going in reverse. it was interesting that today, when I passed my first pilgrims, coming from the other direction, and they saw me, rather than just a hola or buen camino, several kind of stopped me and asked where I was going, if I was going back to Santiago. They're like, wow. One guy on a bike, he thought I was going the wrong way. He's like, no, Finisterre, it's this way. I'm like, I know, I'm going to Santiago. And it's just interesting because that didn't happen yesterday. But I had a nice coffee break, and I'm down to the final, I don't know, I've been walking probably at least 1 kilometer or 2, so maybe only like 7 kilometers left. And I have passed a lot of pilgrims now coming in the other direction. Looks like a lot of groups. I will have a few hours in Santiago, so I'm thinking just enough time to hopefully get a nice lunch and then catch my train to Vigo. It's gonna be weird to get on a train after 43 days of walking and no public transportation. Only transportation has been my 2 legs. So it feels like something is kind of ending, and this is winding down, but still have a few more days to walk. Came out of that wooded area, and look what I was greeted with. I'm here in my little pension room in Vigo, and there's not much to show. A little artwork. I have a double bed. There is a little balcony. There is a little bathroom over there. It was the cheapest place I could find, and there might have been like a shared room. I know there is a pilgrim albergue, which is kind of new and it has a lot of beds, but I was getting in late, not until about 5 o'clock, and I just thought to sort of end kind of my long Camino, and before this little extra stretch of bonus days, I thought to have my own room would be really nice. It is so hot outside. I just took a shower and I feel better, but I'm just gonna relax here for a while and probably not do too much. I'm gonna go out and find a little bit of food, I think, to bring back here and just have a quiet night. When I was on the train in Santiago, I realized that I forgot my stick and I left it behind, and it made me so sad, and I'm still sad. Trying to tell myself it's okay, because it really is okay. I only have like 5 days of walking left, and I needed to leave the stick. In 5 days, I was gonna have to find a place for it to leave it or find someone to pass it on to, but I think I left it in the train station somewhere, probably in the bathroom. I was kind of a little tight on time and rushing and just thinking ahead to getting on the train, and I just left the stick. And in some ways it not that it's symbolic, but it really does kind of show that where my mind was going, right? Like, I had this long stretch of days where all I had to do was walk, and I never forgot the stick. It was always on my mind to make sure I had the stick. And it's like, the moment I thought about something other than walking, about like transportation and getting the train and making my connect, all of that, that's when I left my stick behind. But I was really, really sad on the train because, that stick, I had it every day. I think I got it on the second or third day of my walk, and it's been with me ever since. So for a solid 40 days, it's like my companion. And I wanted to say goodbye and thank it. I know it's a stick. I know it's just a stick, not a big deal, but
just kind of makes it feel like this is really the end. But anyway, I am really happy now though that I'm settled in and relaxed, and I do think the next few days of walking might be kind of fun as I finish up my Camino Portugues, the one that I started in the spring. So stay tuned for more from that.